We start tonight with the ongoing transportation debacle at JCPS. Earlier, state Democratic lawmakers heard from community members during a forum in St. Matthews. WHAS11's Alexis Jones and photojournalist Elijah McKenzie bring us some of the biggest takeaways from the meeting.
Over the past few days, we've heard from families impacted by JCPS' new bus schedule. And now Sunday, they got the chance to bring their frustrations to legislators.
When am I going to get picked up? What if the bus doesn't even come? How am I going to get home?
Why is it we still couldn't get them on buses and get them home safely?
Questions families have after the district's transportation disaster.
We can't do anything right, and that's what's so frustrating.
Sunday, parents aired their grievances at the Democratic State Representative Forum. Students also chimed in with daunting memories of the first day of school.
I had to wait in my gymnasium for about an hour. And then I was on the bus for an hour, and our bus driver went to the same stop 3 times.
Sixth graders Sim Smith and Dylan Payne say they didn't get home until after 5 that night, taking away hours needed to prepare for the next day.
I didn't have any time to do homework. I wasn't able to eat. I just had to eat giant breakfast in the morning.
Many blame the district's lack of communication with drivers and staff for the chaos. Even teachers say they've been left in the dark.
No clue what we're doing. We don't know when we're going back to school. When we are having work days, we're sitting there watching movies. We have nothing.
Along with hearing these concerns, lawmakers took note of ways JCPS can improve.
The most fundamental themes were that JCPS needs to listen to the bus drivers, that the bus drivers are the experts on driving the buses. Bus drivers should know their routes, and that the bus stops and the entire system were done by people with great software, but not a familiarity with our district and our community.
Moving forward, Representative Daniel Grossberg says they will include the recommendations in a detailed letter to school officials. But for students, the message is simple.
Work on it, practice, and please make it better.
In Louisville, Alexis Jones, WHAS 11 on your side.
The Jefferson County Democratic delegation also released a statement regarding the busing disaster, saying in part Jefferson County Public Schools has an absolute duty to keep children safe. They said they fully support public schools in holding the school system accountable. The statement adds the following quote, "We are in ongoing communication with JCPS and have spoken with our educators, administrators, families, and the community to find answers." They go on to say the community deserves, quote, "real solutions," and they plan to hold more town halls. With school closed through at least Tuesday, JCPS will open several sites to provide meals to students. These sites will serve lunch on site from 11 in the morning to 12:30 in the afternoon. They will also provide students with a snack bag to take home. For a list of schools that will operate as meal sites, you can head to our website, WHAS11.com. And an update tonight on the Applegate Lane property where investigators found dangerous chemicals. The city says it will not burn the home this week as originally scheduled. City officials say members of the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency will be on site Monday. EPA officials hope to better identify the types of materials inside the home. They also want to assess options for safely removing the chemicals. A portion of Applegate Lane immediately adjacent to the properties will be restricted to local access only while the EPA is on site. And the community members in Carroll County are mourning the loss of a high school athlete tonight. No name has been released, but the community says the student was starting his junior year of high school and was a member of the football and cheerleading teams. Carroll County High School principal Amy Sutter says the campus and football field will be open Monday beginning at noon. She said it will be available for students to have a safe space to gather and grieve together. Right now, the investigation into the student's death is ongoing. We also have an update to share tonight from the family of Louisville Metro Police Officer Nicholas Wilt. It's been 2 weeks since Wilt made a miraculous trip home from the hospital after being critically shot while responding to the mass shooting inside Old National Bank in April. In a post to Facebook, Wilt's family said Nick has been doing well and is enjoying being home, saying, quote, "We still have a lot of work to do, but he is getting there. Nick continues working hard in outpatient therapy. He has goals and he is working to achieve them." 2024 Republican presidential frontrunner Donald Trump is facing another possible indictment this week over his alleged efforts to interfere with the 2020 election results in Georgia. Meanwhile, as President Biden seeks re-election, his son Hunter is facing his own legal troubles. ABC's Aaron Katursky has the details.
Donald Trump is leading in the polls against his Republican opponents as he seeks the GOP presidential nomination, but his legal troubles are mounting. The former president facing a possible fourth indictment this week for his alleged attempts to interfere in the 2020 election outcome in Georgia. During a phone call in January of 2021, Trump urged Georgia's Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger to find enough votes for him to win Georgia. Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis has said her work is accomplished, and at least 2 witnesses said they've been called to testify early this week before a grand jury. Trump has been unsuccessful in trying to disqualify Willis from prosecuting him, and he has denied all wrongdoing. Gabriel Sterling, a Republican and top Georgia elections official, has repeatedly rebuked the former president's claims of fraud, telling ABC's This Week he thinks Trump's rhetoric, including a recent campaign ad attacking Willis, could lead to violence once again.
We've been saying this over and over again. We counted the ballots 3 times. He lost this state, and he continued to say he didn't lose it, and it's just creating a lot of tension and a lot of chaos.
Meanwhile, President Biden's son, Hunter Biden, is facing his own legal challenges. He was set to plead guilty to misdemeanor tax charges last month, and he would have agreed to a pretrial diversion on a separate gun charge, but the deal collapsed. And on Friday, Attorney General Merrick Garland appointed David Weiss as special counsel to oversee his years-long investigation into Hunter Biden. His attorney speaking out on CBS's Face the Nation.
I'm confident that if this prosecutor does what has been done for the last 5 years, look at the facts, the evidence, and the law, then the only conclusion can be what the conclusion was on July 26th. It's new evidence. There's no new evidence to be found.
Prosecutors saying in court filings the parties are at an impasse in negotiations and the government believes the case will not resolve short of a trial. The judge has given Hunter Biden until Monday to respond. Aaron Katursky, ABC News, Atlanta.
Kentucky is one step closer to bringing legal sports betting to the state. According to Governor Andy Beshear, 7 of the state's racetracks have submitted applications to the Kentucky Horse Racing Commission to license sports wagering. Those tracks include Churchill Downs and Churchill Downs Zone Dallas Park in Henderson. Cumberland Run in Corbin, Oak Grove Gaming and Racing, and the Red Mile in Lexington are also among the tracks that have applied.
We do expect more applications to come in, but 28 days until people can make that first bet, enjoy that sports entertainment.
7 mobile sports betting providers have also applied. They include BetMGM, Caesars, DraftKings, and FanDuel. The Kentucky Horse Racing Commission will vote on licenses at an upcoming meeting. For details and the full list of applicants, head to our website, WHAS11.com. The city is cracking down on loud bars and restaurants in an effort to reduce violence. The Director of Alcohol Beverage Control, or ABC, has announced a new zero-tolerance policy for restaurant and bar noise violations in Louisville. Previously, ABC officers would issue warnings to businesses. Now they'll issue a $2,500 fine for the first offense. It comes just days after council members Ben Reno Weber and Andrew Owen held a community meeting to discuss violence on Bardstown Road and Frankfort Avenue. Reno Weber said noise was a top complaint, but says the problems are interconnected.
Violence is a complex issue that's being addressed and needs to be addressed in lots of different ways. But one piece of it is a lot of the establishments where we're seeing in the neighborhood concentrations of violence are also where we're seeing a lot of neighbors complaining about that.
The council members say they plan to unveil additional anti-violence initiatives in the coming weeks. The new ABC policy will take effect in September.